Hello, engineers and eccentrics. My name is TV Skyen, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where I think maybe my armor is in bad shape? No? Then why is there that symbol at the bottom of the screen? Anyway, we have come to a pivotal moment in the beginning of this game, where we have to decide what to do with the power that this geothermal plant is generating, but I can't help but notice that I was able to restore the power flowing through some of these pipes, but not all of them just yet. And I couldn't help but wonder, maybe it's possible to restore more of those pipes and have more power flowing through the plant to the point where there might, in fact, be enough energy for everybody. This may be a utopian and indeed a foolish vision of the future that I've committed myself to, but, I mean, it's worth running around for a few minutes to at least see if it might be possible, right? And that, then, is the order of the day. Trying to find a way to make these other pipes with their little windows on them look more like these pipes. I wonder if it is possible. And I think the only way to start is to descend back down into the bowels of the factory, because that's where I found all the levers I was able to pull before that restored, well, that I don't know if they restored anything, but they certainly made the glowy goo flow through the bits and bobs of the place with the stuff and the thing. And the next investigation is to see whether I could perhaps... Yeah, it was those things, these things. Find some more of those. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Because I think it sure would be neat.
If we were able to not, you know, kill a bunch of people for our own selfish purposes. Well, lots of stuff flowing through here. But it also kind of seems to stop here. Is there some kind of roadblock here that's stopping it from flowing further? Nope, I've got that one. Okay. What about? That one's on. Ooh, that's the warm steam. Am I? Did I? Did I get myself stuck? Did I? Motherfucker. Okay, I'm soft locked. Fine. I guess I have to do that. Okay, that's set us back a bit. Unfortunately, it's not like we made any... I'm just gonna quick save here, just in case. Not like we made any significant progress along our little, self-imposed mini-quest here, but, still a little bit annoying. Because I've turned a whole bunch of these on. And, like, this power plant seems to be generating plenty of power. It's just not being distributed very efficiently. I'm turning into an engineer. I'm trying to solve a complex sociological problem by mathing at it. Ooh. Well, that looks poisonous. Oh, that was the repaired bot. The one that we set free. What do we have here? Steam distribution control. Shut off the steam release valves, please. Thank you. Ooh, bunch of stuff in there. And a dead guy. See, this is where we were. Where things went a bit wrong before. But it didn't get us anything new in terms of power distribution around the place. So I'm trying to map out where the hell the tubes are. Well, that doesn't seem to do anything other than what's already been done. I can't do anything there. All right. Well, let's descend further into the bowels of the place. Because it might be that there is no... Like, I get the sense that this scenario is very much designed not to have a happy ending. Like, you're not supposed to be able to find some clever little workaround that leaves everybody happy. You're being forced to make some kind of a choice. An imperfect, perhaps quite unhappy one. And I can respect that, but I will do my damnedest...
What's eating you?
To try and work on my way around it.
The tail. Forgot.
Okay, so Higgins is no help. What does my journal say? Those red tubes. They're the ones that usually have the levers around them. That one down there doesn't. Huh, this could be a while. Like, because I may be going on a complete wild goose chase here. In fact, I probably am. And yet, look at me chasing the wild geese. Like a villager in Untitled Goose Game. I also can't help but wonder if... if I had higher engineering skill or something like that, if a different solution would present itself. Which is something I would not like to have happen, actually. That's something that sometimes bothers me. That was something that bothered me, was it Fallout 3 or 4? One of them did a thing where they, like, decided to turn off, like, if you didn't have enough stats to use a possible response to a query, then they didn't let you see that query at all. Like, they didn't even let you see that the option was potentially there. And I can see why, because it can be frustrating to feel like you don't have all the pieces and abilities in a conversation to actually fully participate in it. But on the other hand, it's also nice to see that, oh, hey, there are these other options, and if I come back on a different playthrough, maybe I'll have that opportunity. And I feel like I remember seeing that in this game. All the tubes down here are full. Why aren't they full up at the top? That in this particular game, like, why is that one? Oh, that's the one that goes to Edgewater. That's the Edgewater generator. Okay. So it's one side. Okay, so I've just been chasing a red herring this whole time. All the power is on. All the power I'm gonna get anyway. And the question is who I decide to direct that power towards. Is that all there is to it? That's why there isn't anything in these tubes, because the power isn't being directed towards anyone or away from anyone. It's only operating at 22% efficiency. because there's structural damage to the plant. I mean... Okay. One last attempt to wiggle out of it. I can't fast travel from inside here. Okay. I'm gonna do one last thing to try and wiggle out of making the choice. I am nothing if not a wiggler. Because I remember on the map... You can't fast travel while near hostiles? What hostiles? Ah, blah, blah, blah. Creepy. Oh, those hostiles.
Here they come. Don't mess with us.
Asshole birds. Worth a lot of XP, though. Okay. Because the one person I haven't talked to anymore after... Like, I tried talking to Reed again to see if I could maybe persuade him to change his mind about something or other. I haven't tried to talk to Adelaide again to see if maybe I can get her to not be such a dick about the whole thing.
Anything else I can do for you?
When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
I don't imagine you get a lot of visitors. And what's that?
Remains to be seen. Might be the man that saves the Vale. Might be Reed's personal gun hand.
Save the Vale?
People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both.
What are you... flattery won't work on me, lady.
I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden.
What if I could make
This is
him...
my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna?
You?
That was all me.
Sure. There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. As
Yeah.
much of the story as you need to hear.
Sounds like the town turned its back on you.
A fish rots from the head down. I do not blame the town. I blame the leader.
Then why does the town have to suffer because you're pissed off?
That's not strange at all, dear. But we must...
Yeah. No, I mean, I actually don't know where I am.
This is the old Are you not...
Just getting my bearings. My pod landed not far from here.
Are you talking a... Where...
Does Hope ring any bells?
Is that a new...
Not exactly. It's a colony ship.
Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore.
Folklore?
Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You ought to try some of my
You don't believe me?
Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up, I heard my folks talking about the Hope. Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up.
Oh, I see.
Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important. Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past.
I see. So the colony ship... the colony ship that I was on, indeed all of the thousands of other colonists who came with me, was supposed to do something to save the colonies, but... Okay, I see. I'm not afraid of the board.
No, but the board may have reason to fear you.
Why? I haven't done anything wrong.
You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering.
Okay, let's just talk about something else.
I'm listening.
So, dialogue has been exhausted now, huh? Well, I do have an unanswered question on my mind. How did she manage to make the town grow again? Seems awfully convenient to have that, like, tons of scientists tried, and she comes along with her hippy-dippy, oh, I just believed in the Earth Mother really hard.
Okay, keep him quiet.
Chit-chat, and suddenly, magically, sliding across the ground there a little bit. Would you please just come in here? I don't want you opening the door on me. Okay, fine. I like this, like, because, like, again, I feel like, because the obvious choice, the obvious one is that, oh, yeah, Reed is this shitty capitalist dickhead who runs the town, and Adelaide is the good hippie leader who's opposing his evil corporate schemes. But again, I feel like the game is just waiting, biding its little time to hit me over the head with some terrible truth about a thing. Why do you have landmines? Why would you have landmines? Why with the landmines? Always the goddamn landmines. Right, since we're here anyway, let's give the books to Thomas, who needs them.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
All of them, in fact. Today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
All of them. Well, part 1, found in the Community
Look
Center
at
archives.
that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Hold on, I've got more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2, found in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
Hold on, I've got more for you.
Don't keep me in suspense.
Got the last one as well. The elusive Part 3. Someone stashed it away inside the old geothermal plant.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals.
She's not wrong.
That's a complete
Or she
set.
wasn't wrong. She
All
is now.
3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found.
The Surters are now
Should fit
revering,
right
huh?
into your outfit.
Nice. I want to ask you something. Never mind. Well, I guess these people haven't been out here that long. But I can't help but notice that... Fuck! More landmines! Fuck off! During your adventures, things may happen to your character that can trigger a flaw offer. Taking the flaw is optional, but doing so provides you with a perk. The choice is yours. Permanent concussion. Mind attributes -1, but I get a perk point. No, I need my mind attributes. Sorry. But yes, fair enough. I have been hit in the head many, many times. There'd be an interesting run through this game to be constructed out of, like, accepting all flaws that you get, or trying to collect as many flaws as possible. It would get me a perk point, but I think I'll be fine. I need my brain to be my charming, handsome, dashing rogue self who talks his way out of all the trouble. Except for all those times where I have to shoot people in the head. God, I need a sneeze button. Or a cough button, actually. But anyway, what I was saying is... these people presumably just
Keep your wits about you,
haven't
friend.
been here very long, but I can't help but notice that they don't seem to have a cemetery of any kind. And you know the thing about compost is, you can make it out of just about any biological material. Okay, can I jump over there? Oh, yes, please do leave. Parvati, please do follow me in here. Thank you. Close the door. Always steal the ammo. God, I want ammo. Ammo is the most important thing. Bunch of nanners. Oh, I didn't need to jump over there. I could have just walked. Let me just... excuse me. Definitely not supposed to be in here. Bunch of good stuff. Okay. But no dark secrets for me to discover. No dark secrets. None at all, huh? Seriously, Adelaide, where do you get your fertilizer? I'm suspicious. I'm weighing options in my mind over and over again. And by the way, you're gonna get this every time there's a pivotal moment in the game. Like, it's gonna be me kind of going, oh, but what if there's a way around it? What if I don't have to? What if I can just find another way? What if I can cheat? What if I can cheat my way out of it? I am, unfortunately, that kind of player when it comes to RPGs.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
What are you selling?
Fresh off the limb. And
Oh, right, he sells a bunch of meat, basically. Ooh, also a scope. Oh, that's expensive. Holy heckarim, that's expensive. Okay, no, not buying that from him then. But I do get a discount, that's nice. There she is.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Quite. Okay. Fine. Fine. To the geothermal plant, then. To make the choice. To make the decision. And I think I know what it's gonna be. Even if I don't like it. It's typical with me. It's... Every time I sit down to record something, my nose starts running. For whatever reason, that just happens. There is no right answer. Safety failures detected. High likelihood of moderate to severe structural damage. Redirecting power is an irreversible procedure. Specifically because Parvati told me to. It's going to Edgewater.
The brightest thing you could, sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they didn't care much for me.
Thomas seemed very fond of you.
He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
I've not seen a man with a bigger or more obvious crotch. Yeah,
I'm just
crush,
glad he's
rather.
alive.
Oops.
That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst.
Well. Let's get back to it. I do not like enabling Edgewater in any way. But Parvati asked me to. And I'm going to trust her. They might not be happy to see me. Where can I see, by the way? Where can I see the... Oh, reputation. There it is. So yeah, they have a bit of a negative perception of me, but not an entirely bad one. And with the rest of these people... Okay. So deserters are community disillusioned workers who left the town of Edgewater to live together, blah, blah, blah. Spacious Choice is the favorite brand for the colonist on a budget. The town of Edgewater in the region of the Emerald Vale are properties of the Spacer's Choice Company. The board. The Halcyon Holdings Board of Directors is a group of CEOs from each of Halcyon's founding companies. Under the leadership of Chairman Rockwell, let's kill that guy, the CEO of Universal Defense Logistics, the board institutes policy and law throughout the Halcyon colony, and it has worked out so very well. Ugh, did not especially like doing that. And with no power, the doors don't work anymore. Who am I going to talk to?
Go see what happened?
Am I going to have to kill her?
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve.
Your flock, huh?
I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Reed needs his people back, I guess, is the best answer that I've got here.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
I'm willing to deal with Reed for you.
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
Reed isn't just going to leave his post. I'll need some help convincing him.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me.
She seems very
I
sane and
alone
stable.
know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses.
Oh boy.
I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
What happens when you run out of corpses?
Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops. Look at that.
Indeed. I had a feeling it would be something like that. It had to be something like that, because that's the only option. Ultimately, that's the only option. Is if you want.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
If you want to make the. If you want to make the choice between Edgewater and the cannery, anything like a reasonably difficult choice, you have to make some part of what happens, some part of what happens at Adelaide's deserter camp has to be equally as monstrous as what happens in the cannery and in the town of Edgewater. And the only thing that's remotely monstrous enough to be equal to the kind of fucking misery that people suffer here is literal cannibalism.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
You can't. I spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town.
No, you haven't. The town is terrified of the plague. Abernathy asked me to steal medicine for him, and you let Adelaide's son die.
Her son got sick with plague a couple years back. Company never gave us enough medication to treat the whole town. So I had to choose, you see. Adelaide's child or someone else's.
So it's the company's
Never
fault,
forgiven me.
you
I
know.
don't expect she ever will.
Spacer's choice is evil. You say you've done your best, but all I see is a town falling to pieces.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave.
Can't
I'm a
I?
Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with the plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
This town doesn't eat... Have you people ever eaten an actual vegetable?
The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree? We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna.
No, you don't. I'm pretty... What exactly... I know, you fill your cans with anything you can salvage that's not healthy. I'm pretty sure your food that's making you sick. You need Adelaide's garden.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
Look, Reed, I'd rather not have to tell that to anyone else. Oh, God. Okay. If I tell him that there's corpses in it, I feel like there's like a 33% chance that he's not disgusted by it, that he's like, oh, that's a perfectly sensible use of company resources. We can use the property of the company, which is the colonists, to feed more colonists. That's a great idea. Look, Reed, all I know is it involves some really complicated math, and it works.
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, she deserves this office more than I do.
Nothing about this feels good.
Don't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
You don't have to do this, you know.
I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs.
Is she? It can't be easy
I've
for you.
always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Indeed. What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You won't last a day outside the walls, you know.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
Take care. Yeah, everything's fucked up forever. All of it. Everything's fucked up. Everything fucking sucks. This entire universe is infested with capitalism at all ends. And there's no way to escape it. That's my fucking takeaway from this whole mess. Is that you can't escape it. There's no way around it. Somewhere, somehow, at some point down the line, someone gets used as grist for the mill. In Edgewater, people get used up and destroyed and discarded. They live lives of sickness and motherfucking misery. Here in the camp, well, there's some health and there's some food, but they use corpses for fertilizer. Without anyone's consent, I might add, because of course human beings in this moral universe aren't anything but resources. Human beings are still being ground up as resources here. Just with another middleman, which is the plants. So it's like, oh god, fucking hell. And if I diverted power to Adelaide's
The snakes come back.
camp, I would just, same thing. Like, she would just have kept using... She would just have kept using corpses anyway. Like, there's no way to stop that unless I kill her. And if I kill her, well, the only source of non-contaminated, non-sickness-inducing food that this fucking town has is gone. She's it. Like, that's what they fucking have. You know why? Because capitalism. Because they're fucking botanists. Like, oh, the soil's gone sour. Gee, I wonder if that has something to do with the fucking pollution. And they could fix this so easily because the company could just send them motherfucking rations. Just food. Just give them food for free. It would be so easy to fix. It would be so easy to solve. But okay, fine. I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives
Fucking
as
egomaniacs,
best we
the both of you.
You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand,
Fuck the board.
not a reward.
No, Edgewater is not better off with you running the place, except theoretically it might be.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted.
Yeah.
I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. Personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Indeed. Piss off, you old hag. God damn. I feel less bad about stealing from all of them now. Anyway. Let's return to Ludwig and give him that logic circuit that he wanted. But yeah, so this is the game basically setting its stakes for you. This is the universe that you're in. There is no easy way out of it. You can't just put Adelaide in charge and, oh, everything is sunshine and rainbows. No, everything is sunshine, rainbows, and cannibalism if you put Adelaide in charge. It's like tampering with dead bodies without the consent of the families. Ugh.
Never seen the Vale lit up like this before.
You mentioned a logic module. I found one in the geothermal plant.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple of bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Gee, thanks. Ooh, sour taste in my mouth, god damn! Ooh, but we have finished our side quests. And we can get the fuck out of here now. There's no escape from it. Like, that exploitative system that uses human beings as resources is everywhere. It infects everyone and everything, and you can't stop it. Cheerful!
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
Thomas can take over. I can understand not wanting to go back. You didn't seem happy in Edgewater.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Yes, please, anyone I can save from this hellhole. I'd be glad to have you along. Pick a cabin, and it's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Oh, hello, Vicar
Well,
Man.
I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Yeah, please stay there. Ugh. Jerk. I have a couple of friends who are probably going to like Vicar Max a lot more than I do. Well, that seems to do what we need.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
I'm not sure I will. I'm really not sure that I will.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community.
Thanks, Ada.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Let's get out of here. Oh yeah, this looks good. Against all odds, the Unreliable takes flight. Oh, that's a lovely illustration.
Communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Good. I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die.
Yeah,
How are you feeling,
fancy.
by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine.
Are you now?
What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame.
I am happy
The
to
Hope has
accept
some
that.
of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Right. The black marketeer.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
What's stopping you from just leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star.
I see.
Look, I admire your optimism. But the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together.
Relatable.
None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place. And we can start by reviving the hope.
Fine. I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
I'll put it together. You want to explain what a holographic shroud is, actually?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another.
Ooh, sneaky.
It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
You mentioned this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
People will actually fall for this? Seems far-fetched.
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
I'll put it to good use, I guess. Thanks.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Got it. And there's a level up for me. Oh, and Vicar Max too, huh? You can have the shock stick, kiddo. Let's see. Distance. You be a close range dude, and stick with melee when at all possible. These are the finest vestments you have ever seen. Not a speck of dirt is on them. Interesting. But, yeah, sorry, dude. You need something better than that. Let's get you some perks. Improve your hack skill when Max is in the party. Yeah. Let's do that. And let's increase my stats as well, while we're at it. Okay, so dodge, if you level it up enough, dodge does give you better armor, too. Interesting, good to know. There, get all my stealth up to 40. And all my persuasion up a little bit as well. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm really gonna try and sink my points into the non-combat options and see what happens. Anyway, this seems like a good place to cut this particular video. We're coming up on the hour, and we are about to select our first new destination out here in the vast and infinite reaches of space. How exciting! So, if you have enjoyed skipping through this capitalist dystopia with me, feel very free to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons down below, because there's going to be more of it on this channel alongside my Final Fantasy VI playthrough and Monster Hunter and Dark Souls 2 and God knows what else I'll think of to put on this thing. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. I have a Patreon, I have a tip jar, I have a merchandise store. You can avail yourself of those if you so choose, but if not, you know, that's completely fine as well. And I would just like to thank you very much for watching and putting up with all my angry socialist ranting.